Welcome back to the next episode of What the Frick Reviews. My name is DJ.
I'm Katie.
And we're back after a hiatus. If you're looking for Whose Clone Is It Anyway, it still exists under the same name, just a different channel. It's the exact name, so SEO should be pretty nice to you that you shouldn't find something else. And if you do, review bomb them so then that way I don't have to do any work past this podcast.
Are you sending people to attack them?
Well, yeah, SS Sniper did it, so I can do that.
Well,
she didn't get. She swatted. Wow, we're really starting.
Okay, yeah, exactly. This is what we're gonna do. You're gonna find them. You're gonna tell us. Then we're gonna find the address. We're gonna go record in front of their house for our 2 viewers.
And then say we don't want to swat Jack's films, but we are outside of his house and we are gonna film the exterior of it. But that's your problem if you swat Jack's films.
I didn't do anything.
Yeah,
I am not the middleman here.
Yeah, Your Honor, throw the book at him. Jack's films. He made me want to swat him. I'm gonna have to cut this out.
Why? we can in the description we could put drama.
Yeah, we just immediately talk about like somewhat topical YouTuber drama.
Hey, that's all I'm watching all the time.
Yeah.
So. But anyways, we watched Strange Brew.
Yes, Strange Brew with Rick Moranis and the other dude. It's based off an SNL sketch, I'm pretty sure. They play two Canadian brothers. And it essentially, the elevator pitch of the movie, it's two Canadian brothers that drink all of their father's beer, and they have to go out and try to get beer money to provide more beer to their daddy. Daddy?
Is that it?
I mean, that's how they get to the brewery.
They also made a movie.
They did also make the movie.
No, they gave the dad's money away, and that's why they couldn't buy beer.
Well, yeah, but you remember we always start with like a general plot description, and then we go into the weeds.
Yeah, I thought the general plot needed that.
Yeah, so this movie opens super, super cool. It starts with the lion from MGM not roaring, and it's just two of them just like poking a live lion saying, "Come on, eh?"
No, they're not poking him. They're cranking his tail.
They are cranking his tail, yeah.
They say, start him up.
Come on, hoser.
Yeah, you hoser. And then the lion burps. So yeah. I think they're feeding the lion beer as well.
Most likely drinking. Oh, yes, you're right.
Yeah.
You can't drink somebody.
Yeah, and then they say all hosers welcome to our movie.
Yeah, and then the lion starts to roar, and they're like, "Hey, shut up, eh? We're starting over here, eh? Now you want to roar, eh?"
Yeah.
And then they're like, "All right, welcome to the movie. The main difference between a movie and a television is that's wider. So you have the Great White North behind us, and the other places."
Oh my God. Yeah, because they're in front of a map.
Yeah, because that was like their big set. Very cool. Like this is like one of the very few like SNL to like skit or like SNL skit to like full length movies that seem to work really well, because it's they really seem to just exist in this world more than they seem to care that they're leading this movie.
Yeah.
So yeah, the brothers are like, "Welcome to the movie," and they pull out a bag of popcorn, and then we start this sci-fi epic where the whole world is gone, and isn't he just looking for beer or something?
It says it's 2051 AD. I was the only one left on Earth after the Holocaust, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah. I was like, oh, sci-fi movie. It's pretty sci-fi. There's a lot of, what is it called? Editing jobs in this movie. I don't know the word.
What are you trying to say? Like, what do you, like cuts or special effects?
Special effects.
Oh, yeah, like the van flies.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't see a string.
Yeah, I didn't see a string. I just saw the whole rig moving the car up. Yeah.
Well, yeah, that's like a part of the charm,
Yeah.
But yeah, so then after about 2 minutes of what's going to be clearly the next Schindler's List, the film breaks, and then we pan out, and they're in an actual movie theater. And everyone's really pissed off because of how shitty the movie is. And someone like shouts, "They did all this in their album," which is a very funny joke.
Why? I don't get the joke.
Like a lot of like SNL comedians and especially stand-up comedians, when they finally get like a TV show or a movie, it like ends up being like verbatim their album.
Oh.
So like if maybe like Adam Sandler makes a lot of jokes about being Jewish and being like in his 20s. So he would make a movie about being a Jewish kid in the 20s, and all the jokes were just jokes that he made on stage.
Oh.
He didn't actually like expand on anything.
Yeah.
So that was it.
Yeah,
so,
he's like, they made all these jokes in their album. Rip off! And then
Yeah.
everyone starts throwing stuff.
in rioting, and it turns out that they're watching the movie with everyone, so they have to sneak out and avoid the cops.
How do they do that, though? How do they end up getting everyone out of the theater?
Don't they like yell fire or something?
Cliche.
Ice?
What?
The other element? Okay,
Oh, well, I had a
ISIS,
rough night last night. Give me some time to adjust.
Okay, so ISIS walks in, and the brothers have
ISIS
to...
walks into a bar.
Yeah, ISIS walks in the bar, and they're like, hey, hosers, it's Canada.
He's like, what are you doing here? Anyway, but yeah, no, they... But also... Okay, I know, sorry.
Yeah,
Moving on past ISIS.
Yeah.
It's a sensitive topic right now. Anyway, so they say they did this on their album. So that means they kind of have like a following already, which is kind of weird when you think about it. That's the thought that I popped. I was like, oh, so they're like known? Because throughout the movie, they don't really seem to know anyone.
Yeah, I guess it's a good point, but I mean, like, if you really think about it, they started... I mean, their whole opening act in the theater is being like, hey, guys, welcome back. So they did acknowledge, like, yeah.
Yeah, but, like, when, like, throughout the movie, it's like they don't know anyone. You know what I mean?
I think the joke is that they're... It's, like, all a meta joke itself. Because I did notice, like, especially as the movie starts to, like, in the last 30 minutes, they start saying just fuck it, which works really well, and they seem pretty aware of it, so...
It was a little weird at the end, I'll tell you that, but... Anyway, so then the thing that they do to get everyone out of the theater, this is what they do. They release the moths from the jar.
Right, they Mothman that shit.
Sure.
Which they said at the very beginning, if you ever want to get a free ticket, just bring a barrel of moth or a jar of moths and release them.
Yeah, and that's what they did to their own movie.
Yeah.
And then as they're walking out, somebody's like, they saved up their allowance to watch this movie. Blah, blah, blah. And so then they gave them money. And then the one guy was like, that's Dad's beer money. And he's like, shut up. And whatever. And so then they give him the money and they leave.
And then people see that they're giving out refunds, so they have to run away from them. They get away and they drive away. And then the opening credits start. Yeah, that's another point. Like, when the guy's like, they saved up all their money. I was like, why do the kids know them? I can expect an adult to, like, know him, but, like, why did they...
I didn't even think about that. Also, like, how much is this movie ticket? Jeez.
Yeah, like, he gave him a 20, and I was like, that's, like, one movie ticket, but this is, like, the 80s, so, like, 20 should cover, like, 10 movie tickets.
Really?
They're only, like, a couple bucks, I assume.
I hate the world we live in.
Yeah. Then they proceed to do the opening credits that I skipped through, and I found out that the leads also directed the movie.
How do you do that? Okay, in action.
Yeah, seriously, yeah. I've directed when I directed a horror movie, I like had to like stand in a corner one day like while we were filming because I was like, I have to direct myself in how to be scared. But I don't know how to be scared. And I have
crippling anxiety. Use it.
No, my reaction was to not react at all, and it was awful.
Oh, all right. I see why that movie never made it to the big screen.
Wow.
Bum roasted.
Yeah. It is on YouTube.
Okay. Yeah, I can put anything on YouTube.
Yeah, no, you let me put this on YouTube.
Yeah, that's true.
Boom roast ourselves.
I know, but my 2 followers.
So
they get home.
They return home. They I will acknowledge that they have perfect brother chemistry for not being related whatsoever.
Oh, I love it.
They squabble like brothers. It's like they lived with each other their entire lives.
Yeah. Okay. So who's the one from Honey, I Shrunk the Kids?
The shorter one, Rick Moranis.
Yeah, Rick.
Bob, I think his name is. I don't actually remember their names.
I never remember which one's which. Okay, so Rick, the Rick guy, he is kind of like the more timid brother.
Timid.
Yeah, the other guy is more the dominating one, where he's like, I'm telling on you.
Yeah, yeah. And like they definitely like hint that Rick Moranis is a little bit confident because of the way that he hits on Pamela, but like it's definitely because he's under his brother's shadow.
Yeah.
Not in like a bad way, clearly like a codependent thing that we'll get to.
The codependent. Anyway, so they get home. Home. I wrote down, they're eating donuts at night and drinking beer. Yeah. What a life.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they also live at home. They live with their parents who are watching a Tom and Jerry cartoon, it looks like. And then they basically have an entire slapstick character moment feeding the beer to the dog. And, like, it's kind of perfectly synced with the cartoon. I don't know if you noticed that. Like, the cartoon music is, like, perfectly synced with them, like, not trying to get eaten by a dog that is desperately addicted to alcohol.
Yeah, very sad.
No. I mean, everyone has their ailments.
Even dogs?
Yeah.
You good, Jake?
He's getting over it. Maybe don't bring it up every time.
You're right. Inconsiderate.
Yeah.
I said, do we endorse the dog getting beer? I wrote that down. Do we?
Yeah. No, I don't. I mean, it's Canada. They have free healthcare, so they probably have free pet care, too.
And then I wrote this down, like one of the lines that the Rick guy said. Because the dad was like, save a beer for me. And then they steal the beer from the dog. And it was kind of rough. They gave him a donut to get the beer.
Yeah.
But then they're like, you gave away dad's beer money. You're going to be in trouble. Blah, blah, blah. So the next day they're like going to get beer. I don't know why he said this, but the Rick guy, he's like, okay, you boss me around.
Yes, I wrote that the same thing. Okay, boss me around.
Yeah. Because it's like they're always bickering, and then at the end, like that one brother always like gives in. He's like, you're always bossing me around. Okay.
Yeah. I also wrote that down. So then they go to a location that apparently only sells beer on a conveyor belt from the back.
I saw that, and I was like, is this how like all
it must
beer
have been
shops
how it
were?
was at the time. You know, like how in X state that we live in, it has like ABC liquor stores.
Yeah.
So I wonder if like back in like the 80s or the 90s, whenever the fuck this was made, like that's how you got alcohol. It had to be like separate, and
Well, maybe it was just a Canadian thing too.
It could also just be a Canadian.
That's
thing.
what I was thinking, because I don't think we ever did that in the States.
Oh, you were there around 85, huh?
Yeah. Well, I was possibly never thought of. My dad was born. My parents were born in the 70s, so I don't think he was thinking about me. But I've never. Have you ever seen an American movie where they have that?
No, I've never. Oh no, you're right. You're totally right. Yeah, you got me there. Yeah, but you haven't seen a movie older than 2010.
Yes, I have. Well, I love 80s movies. What are you talking about? This was my idea.
See how short people just get so riled up?
Yeah, look at you.
Wait.
Point proven.
Yeah, I'm 7'1" on a great day and 8'2" on a bad day.
That's disgusting.
I know, right? I can't find any pants that fit me. Everything's a capri.
Everything's a crop top for you too.
Wait, is capri the right word?
I don't know. I was thinking,
you know what I'm talking about?
Like capri, yeah.
The pants that go up to your ankles?
Yeah, when I was in 6th grade, I used to cut my pants to make them into capris, and I'd roll them at the end. What a life to live. I can't believe I did that. My parents let me dress myself however I wanted.
Yeah, they still do.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong. Also, I keep doing this accent, and I can't stop, so don't question it.
It's like kind of Harley Quinn, but if she didn't smoke a couple packs before she talked. Like, you sound like you're like Linda from like HR that hasn't smoked enough to ruin her voice.
Oh, all right, okay.
I mean, that's kind of a compliment.
Well, I wouldn't consider it that. I don't know. It happened.
Do you want me to say that you have smoked cigarettes and you sound like it?
I don't care. Cigarettes are good for you. See? I watched 80s movies. Point proven. Suck on it.
No! Kids, this is not a glowing recommendation for cigarettes. Katie takes a sip of Frosé and she's out for the night, so don't trust her with drug intake use.
Hey, I steer clear of all the drugitals. You know what I mean?
Quote that fucking that woman from Michael fucking Monsters Inc. The one that hates Michael.
Yeah, what is? I'm
Wazowski.
trying to think of the line she says.
Always watching.
Always watching you. No, I don't know how to say her voice.
Pretty close though.
That's what I
It gets here at the end.
what we're doing Lola. Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Oh my god. You're disgusting. I haven't watched in a while. It probably is not what she sounds like. But anyways.
No, it's exactly what. I mean, all it is Nick Kroll.
I know. I love that man.
Yeah.
He's married.
So. Oh, like this was your shot? Like he was gonna.
I didn't say this was my shot, but I said maybe there was a chance in the future if he wasn't married.
Look at there, just slipped right in there. You're just this old aunt. It has to be an aunt. She's like 75 and she has no kids, but she's not alone or anything. That's not the implication. She's just around.
Yeah, well, I'm in the remake of the movie Split. They're not paying me. They're not even recording me. I'm just doing it for Excuse me.
Excuse my dog. I think he's actually asleep.
I'm just saying I have multiple personalities, and Linda is one of them. Oh, we can name her Linda.
Okay, well, maybe if you can tell Linda to fucking be a little bit more quiet for this episode so Katie can talk.
It's gonna be hard. Okay.
So they wake up first thing in the morning, go to this weird Canadian brewery, not brewery, like alcohol store. They try beer shop. Once again at the beginning, he was like, "I got a little tip for the audience: put a mouse in a beer bottle, and then say that's how you got it."
Then they have to give you more beer for free.
They have to, so they do it. And then they just laugh in their faces and tell them to go to the brewery.
If they have a problem.
Yeah, which, like, in retrospect, that poor mouse, too, like, the mouse would be dead, guys.
Yeah, that's it, how they know that they're lying. And also, that just reminds me of the Mountain Dew thing. Was it Mountain Dew?
I remember that there is, like, a person that tried to do this before.
Yeah, there was a mouse in their Mountain Dew, and they're like, actually, it would have decomposed by now. And then it's like, and you're proud of that? I mean, you got yourself out of the lawsuit, but at what cost?
They're like, no cost. They're still going to drink the dew.
They do drink the dew.
We do the dew on this podcast.
I don't do the dew.
Uh-oh. There's enough flavors out there that you'll find the Mountain Peak that you
I do
enjoy.
the Dr. Pepper.
Oh, God, you're one of those bitches.
Yeah, I'm one of those bitches. If that makes me a bitch, then rough. Like, I don't know what to tell you. Dr. Pepper's amazing.
Yeah, there was a girl on TikTok that I was trying to sell like some Dr. Pepper like merch on Etsy, and she called it DP.
I don't get it.
Oh. Do you want me to explain the joke to you?
Wait a minute. I think it's
Double?
clicking. I got it.
There it is.
Okay. Disgust. Wait. I didn't even think of it like that. Well, because also, the college I went to,
They only beat in TP, triple. Sorry.
Where's the third hole? Oh. No. Listen. Let me finish my sentence before you go.
The third hole. Oh.
I don't think about that. Stop. Anyway, I don't like these jokes. I don't like them. I feel uncomfortable. No. Let me finish my sentence.
Okay, yeah, I'm letting you finish.
What I was gonna say. The college I went to, there was a street named DP.
Oh.
Del La Playa. Or Del Playa.
Del Playa. It was called Del Playa or DP?
Del Playa, but then everyone would be like, oh, we're going to DP.
Oh, that makes sense.
Oh my God, how many people were thinking double penetration when they were talking about DP?
So when you...
I was a saint. I didn't think of any of that.
You like we said, TP. Sorry.
Disgusting.
When you write out... Do you do the acronym OFC?
What's that? Of course?
Yeah.
No, never.
Have you seen that ever?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I knew what it was when you said it.
Yeah, so I always thought it was of fucking course.
Oh.
But, like, apparently a lot of other people just other people just say of course.
Oh.
Because it's just of course, OFC. But my brain always reads it as of fucking course. And I was like, wow, people are really, like, going in corporate settings saying OFC. I mean, I'm definitely one of them, but, like...
Yeah.
It's bold, and then I found out that other people don't read that there is a swear in it.
Oh.
Yeah, same situation.
Slightly different.
Yeah, only one hole.
What's that?
So
Anywho, they're going to the brewery, right?
They're going to the brewery now that their mouse trick didn't work.
And then
they get there.
No.
Oh.
Listen.
Listen.
Okay, they're driving. And then they come in a fork in the road, and it's like either go to the brewery or the insane asylum. You know what I mean? The psych ward.
Yes.
Yeah. And so when they're driving, he's like, I'm taking you to the loony bin, and I'm going to the brewery.
Yeah. and they're like, shove off.
Yeah.
No, take off.
Take off, you hoser.
Yeah, take off, hey?
Yeah, and it was just funny. He's like, I'm leaving you there, and I'm going there. And that's like usually the whole bit, like the bigger brother.
The blonde brother, yeah.
Yeah. They both look blonde to me, but the blonde brother, anything less dark than your hair is blonde to me. I can't do it.
Okay.
Anyway, it's like how I call everything a jacket, and I made my grandma mad one time because I was like, "Oh, I really want to get this jacket at Tilly's."
This is different. This is so different. Than
No,
that.
no, listen. I want to get this jacket at Tilly's, and she's like, "Okay, let's go." And then I go and I show her like a sweatshirt, and she's like, "I thought you wanted a nice coat for winter. I was going to buy you a nice jacket, and you want me to buy you a hoodie?" And I was like, "Yeah." Like, it's a jacket. And she's like, it's not a jacket, it's a coat. And I was like, it's a sweatshirt. And I was like, it's all the same stuff. So anything less than that, it's blonde.
Yeah, that is like I understand that
together.
analogy, but like
I group it together. Linda, I group it together.
Jesus, you're really sounding a lot like Phoebe Cates, which we'll get to next episode. Just talking to yourself.
You know what? I'm tired of this. Anyways, so that part, and then once they get to the gate, they get to the brewery, and someone's stuck in the gate.
Yep, and it's Pamela, who is the daughter of a recently deceased owner of the brewery, and she is stuck on the gate somehow. So they
like car here. Gate here.
Yeah, I don't know how she got stuck.
yeah, I don't. And he's like, your tires are insulators. If you step out of the car, you'll be electrocuted. But I'm like, you guys are outside the car.
Well, they're not in the car. I think.
Well, what if she just makes a hip and a skip out of the car, where she's not touching anything? Like she gets on the roof. Let's say she gets on the roof, and then she jumps off.
That should theoretically work. But how do you get out of your car without touching the car?
What are you talking about?
Like, you get out the window.
She's sitting in the car. She's touching the car.
Yeah, how do you get on the roof? Because you would have to at least...
The window.
Yeah, but then you would be touching exposed metal. And the exposed metal is what's touching the electricity.
She's literally touching her whole window, isn't she?
Well, the window isn't conductive.
Well, the window...
to the wall.
Frame. Stop with your balls.
I was going to say, to the water down Niagara Falls, you prude.
You're the prude. Anyways, I'm just thinking.
Yes, in retrospect, that she should have just been dead. Yes.
Yeah, but then they're like, okay, we'll ram you from behind.
Yeah, and then they were like, "Who's driving?" And they make Rick Moranis drive, and then. And then he was like, why am I driving? In case she sues for whiplash. I don't know you, hoser.
Yeah. And then he goes to her and he's like, hey, you won't sue me for whiplash. But then she's like, just go into the car. And
she's like, okay.
Yeah. I really like that part.
Yeah, and then they get her out and they're driving in. And then Rick Moranis was like, see her looking at me? Looking at you? You ugly as sin. It's like, no, she likes me. Take off. They get to the brewery. They bribe the receptionist, which is the second bribe in the movie, with donuts. That works. So these donuts must be fucking amazing.
I know. I don't like donuts, but I kind of want a donut. But it was just funny when he was like, oh, we have an appointment with that guy. Oh, he's dead. Well,
we made an appointment with whoever replaced that guy.
Yeah, and then, well, how long ago was it? And so, when did he die? Mood.
It's us if we ever try to get into a building. We made an appointment with him. He's dead. So we made an appointment when he died, which was last decade. Did I say that guy?
Yeah, I really, am prepared. I started getting ready for this when I was 10, you know.
Yeah.
I knew what I wanted to do when I was 10.
Yeah, I wanted to drink alcohol.
On this very day.
So they get into the brewery. We find out the core of the plot, which is that Pamela's uncle is currently running the brewery, and he is trying to buy it from Pamela to take full control of the brewery, so that way they can do some science-y shit. And that's a secret.
But that's the thing. So her dad owned it.
Mm-hmm. Her dad died.
Yeah. and then her uncle's trying to take it over. But a way that he's trying to do this too is he married his brother's wife, which is Pamela's mom. So he is her uncle dad.
Yeah, it's a
Uncle Dad. I am my own grandpa.
Oh my God.
It's so funny. I know. It always comes back to the Lloyd.
Oh, excuse me. Oh my Lloyd. That was a good callback.
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah. So, and then on that note too. Okay, whatever. He could do whatever he wants. It's kind of weird. Whatever.
Yeah, I mean, well, the weirder part, the one that they always bring up, is just how soon the wedding was after their funeral.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say what I was gonna say. Sure. Yeah, that's weird. But also, why is the wife doing that?
Oh, probably because, like,
she doesn't look sad at all. 1, 2. Why are you? Why are you? You know what I mean?
I wonder if she's gonna get like a cut of that $5 million, because that's what they were offering her.
Oh.
So like, well, then why would she get it though?
Oh, they also said Pamela was 21. That bitch is not 21.
What do you think? How old did you think she was?
She looks like she's like 30.
Oh, I don't know. She looked nice.
I mean, she looks nice. She don't look 21.
Okay. Women hate women.
No, I'm just saying. They said she's 21, and I said,
Chloe.
where? It was like High School Musical all over again. Yeah,
No, those were high schoolers.
Okay. I don't know what to tell you on that one, brother.
I mean, I feel like maybe that's why I have such an age disappropriate or disproportional like age filter, because of the amount of 80s, 90s, and early 2000s that just casted 35-year-olds as high schoolers, so my brain didn't actually know what a high schooler was supposed to look like.
Well, so high schoolers these days look older. Well, at least the girls do, because it's like more of a trend to know how to do makeup and stuff, so they put makeup on. So I don't know about like boys, little boys. I don't know how that works.
Yeah, have you ever watched Annie?
Tomorrow.
Yeah, that.
No, I've only ever watched the Chairman of the Board version.
Okay, we can move on. We don't need to acknowledge that.
Tomorrow. That's America.
About? That's not.
That's America to me.
Oh. So that's not in that song.
No, I just felt like singing it.
What the fuck are we talking about?
Give me creative freedom. Anyways, Pamela is not 21.
Because you hate women.
That's not why. You're setting me up for that. Objectively, if you were to say, oh, this should be our green screen one time for a video. Like, future DJ, if you actually edit, it'd be nice if you put a picture of Pamela right here. So the audience can see. Because she does not look 21. I'm just saying, she doesn't look 21. And then we can move past it. But then you're over here saying I'm a woman hater. And Linda has to speak up for herself.
Why doesn't Katie do that for her?
Well, Linda is a little more aggressive. She knows how to talk.
I'm actually curious what her age is now.
Yeah, I know. Like, we should see like how old the actress was. It was just weird.
So now we gotta go to IMDb. So Strange Brew came out in 1983.
Let me do the math. 83. Okay, keep going.
Her name was Lynn Griffin. Was born 1952. Uh-oh.
52.
Oh
my.
31.
She was 31.
31. Hey, that's only 10 years.
Okay, you pedophile. She said she was only 17. I thought she was 12.
Sir, that's not better, is it?
Have you seen that video?
No.
Oh. I thought she was 12. It was literally this guy like gets caught for talking to a girl online, and they're like, "What are you doing?" He's like, "I thought she was 12." And
Is that better?
No.
Yeah,
but
that's rough. Anyways,
yeah, she's 31. I told you.
So she's a 31-year-old playing a 21-year-old. And And then they just kind of let Rick Moranis and his brother start working at the brewery because they somehow get to talk to the head honcho.
And they believe about the mouse because they're like, yeah, no one's watching the bottles anymore.
Right, because everything's automated. They do meet Rosie, who is going to be a big character soon.
Old hockey player.
An old hockey player, which was a little bit of foreshadowing. Did you notice that? A little foreshadowing? Because they were like, why is a hockey player working in a brewery? Okay.
Tell me what the shadow's doing.
Peter, we don't have time to talk about this right now.
Who's Peter?
Pan, he lost his shadow and Wendy had to sew it back together.
Okay, yeah, but what was the foreshadowing?
The foreshadowing is that why is a hockey player in a brewery, and it turns out that hockey players are being brainwashed. They're all in the loony bin.
But those aren't all hockey players.
Yeah, but it's whatever.
Anyways, so they're seeing the hockey players play, right? And that piano sound that they play has haunted me my whole life.
Really?
Do 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 do, and then they start fighting. Literally, I'll just be sitting there sometimes and be like, do 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 do.
That's also the movie's main theme. Mm-hmm. That's cool. I didn't notice that until you just did that.
Yeah. Do 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 do.
So when they get into the room and they get jobs, I just want to really quickly recognize. I know Jake's breath smells bad. Get over it.
We bumped noses, and I regret it. Love you.
Like when Rick Moranis sees Pam again, you know what he says?
What?
Hey, Whiplash, how are you?
That's a good one, yeah.
Yeah. So then they get a job.
And they bring home all the beer.
They bring home all the beer. This is also when they realize that they're all built. That the uncle's big plan is to be building a poison that a mad scientist is testing so that they can control people using music, and they want to get this formula correct to be
Formioli.
Formioli, show me the ravioli.
Yeah, I have that in my GoPuff cart right now. I got some raviolis waiting for me.
Chef Boyardee.
What other kind?
I don't know.
Yeah,
Some
exactly.
shit kind. But I love Chef Boyardee.
Starts rolling out of here.
Yeah.
But yeah, they bring home all the beer, and that's me. Like if I worked at Trader Joe's, I'd just be bringing home all the snacks.
Yeah,
you know what
absolutely.
I mean? Yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, so they're figuring out a formula to control people using music, and they want to ship all the beer to Oktoberfest, and as a main sponsor, so everyone gets brainwashed, so he can take over the world. Because for some reason, in the middle of this SNL full-length movie, there's an entire actual sci-fi plot that is happening.
It's pretty great.
And
then the next thing that I know is they find the break room.
This happened before that, but yeah.
Oh, just kidding.
But go on.
Oh well, I just they're in the break room.
Oh no, you're right. This is the next scene. You're totally right. I'm totally wrong.
Okay, because I was like, why do I have so many notes?
Yeah.
They find. But
Go ahead.
oh, I thought you were going to interrupt me.
I was, and then I stopped.
Well, the break room, and they talked about layoffs, and so then I was wondering when they did the layoffs, but I guess it was really recent because all of the stuff happened.
Yeah,
but
it is at least old enough. One, I want to just go back because when we see Pam eating in her home with her new step-uncle daddy and her mom, they're just randomly eating KFC.
Oh, that's what it was?
Yeah, because he was like, she was like, no, I want to run the business. And he was like, and her mom was like, the colonel died, but KFC's doing just fine or something.
Oh my God.
Yeah. I just thought that was funny that these rich ass people were just casually eating KFC.
Yeah. That's normal.
Then Pam comes to work, and because they brought all the beers home, they did a huge bender. So they decided to just be really early and sleep on the couch. They have such natural energy because they wake up and bonk each other's head and then immediately start fighting each other.
Yeah, but they're surrounded by donuts.
Yes, they're surrounded by donuts because they wanted to be good employees. #suckups.
Hey, I'll take a donut.
Yeah, I know. I would too. Look, I can call you a suck-up, but also benefit from it.
Yeah, you jerk.
That's called playing both sides.
Yeah.
And then they get to the break room. The older brother is a whiz with electricity and turns on the electricity, and all the vending machines start spitting out snacks.
Yeah, that was cool.
And they had expired chocolate milk, and the short one, Rick Moranis, because I forgot his name.
Yeah, me too.
Drank too much and barfed all the chocolate milk out. And
well, it wasn't that he drank too much. It was literally because it was expired.
Yeah, and he was like, I shouldn't have drank all that chocolate milk. I'm sorry about your sweater.
Oh, yeah.
Like, fucking mood, man.
And he's like, if I didn't have puke breath, I'd kiss you. And I wrote sexual harassment.
Hey.
He just met the woman.
Yeah. Well, she just met Rosie, and they're
well,
gonna be doing
it's consensual.
Yeah, that's right. They fell in love in the first. They fall in love the moment they meet.
Yeah, but also I was thinking they also have like games there, and I was like, we need that for our break room at work. That'd be nice.
It would be nice. So now we're on day 2. Pamela immediately fires the mad scientist that's been like coercing the step uncle daddy.
The mustache man.
Very astute. Shout out to Pam. She was like, I don't like your vibe, man. And as like the owner of this brewery, get the fuck out of here. It's like, wow.
Yeah, he doesn't leave.
Of course not. He just goes bitching to the brother, and then they decide that they need to take out Pam and whoever the other dude that was with Pam. I didn't know who the other... Like, there's an old man that knew Pam.
Yeah, I think he was like the dad that had passed away. I think he was like his business partner, I think.
Okay.
Something like
sense.
that.
Yeah.
Like, so she trusts him.
Cool.
Yeah, she trusts the old man that was her dad's business partner.
That had been still kind of continuously working on the plant.
Yeah.
And then we find out that the brother killed his brother. And, like, it was all set up in that...
Brother. Okay, so the uncle killed the dad.
Yes, and we find this out because we also find out that because I guess they used electricity to kill him, he is now haunting the electrical system of the machine and is now helping everyone in the brewery.
Oh my gosh, I never...
You never put those together?
No, I was just like... This bitch just haunted me.
You just watch the ending and like they make it so you see a hologram of the dad and then he points at the wall and he's like, Oktoberfest, stop them. Nice effects, eh?
Yeah, I wrote that part down, but it didn't click.
Yeah, so once again, so we have a sci-fi plot and a paranormal plot going on. Mm-hmm. The brothers play hockey with everyone. Rick Moranis is on Rosie's hockey player team, and they're like, don't worry, the padding should protect you. And he's like, being with you, Rosie, is all the padding I need.
Yeah.
And then his brother, because they're either in white uniforms or in black uniforms. Exactly, like chess pieces. Yeah. And then the brother who is in the black uniform is like, Luke, I'm your father. Join the dark side, you knob.
Oh, that's what he says. You knob.
Yeah.
You hoser.
So basically, a lot, like, obviously, we're going through our normal, like, plot recap. There's a lot of fucking plot in this fucking comedy movie. There is so much shit happening.
You can't, it's so much. But it's good. It's got good stuff.
And then, like, we haven't even talked about how it's been revealed that there's an underground tunnel to the loony bin, because they've also been talking about that, and all the other hockey players are like, inmates that are being given beer to turn in, like,
and the music is controlling them.
Yep. And that's what we're all seeing. So now the brother and the scientist shoot Pam and the other
Don't
dude.
say brother, say uncle.
Step uncle daddy.
Step uncle daddy.
Yeah.
Well, okay, no.
Step uncle unstuck. Sorry. Go on.
We got to rewind this a little bit.
Okay, sorry.
What happened was...
I'm getting a little bit lost in the sauce right now.
He's in the sauce heavily. Vodka sauce. For sure. Anyway.
What's the pairing?
I don't care.
Oh, well.
A brownie. Anything. Brownie's good with anything, I tell you what.
I don't think it would be good with vodka sauce. That's so much tomato.
Well, I'm not dipping it in the vodka sauce.
You're just... Okay, go on.
Oh, I'm going to make spaghetti tonight.
Wow.
I'm so excited. I'm so excited. Okay, anyway. No, okay, so the hosers are playing hockey, right?
Yep.
So their clothes are in...
They have to change out of their clothes.
The locker room.
And someone steals the clothes.
Yes, the mustache man, the evil mustache man, and the uncle steal the clothes.
Yeah, I just call the mustache man the mad scientist.
The mad scientist, okay. Mad science mustache man. And the uncle steal the clothes so that they can look like them on their the video cameras.
The security cameras.
The security cameras. So, go on. Because you were just like...
Yeah, I was just
They killed them.
Yeah, so they use that. They shoot Pam and the business partner with sleep darts and put them in kegs. And then they go find the hosers and cut the brakes of their van and wakes them up and says, hey, you guys have been doing a great job.
Oh, yeah, because they shot them with darts, too. That's why they had to be woken up.
And then...
And they put them back in their clothes.
Put them back in their clothes, put them in the van, and said, you guys are doing a great job. Can you just deliver the kegs?
It's for her birthday party.
For her birthday party, for Pam's birthday party. And they go off, make a quick stop at their house. Oh, yeah, we forgot this moment, though. We forgot this big moment. So how the hosers get shot is they find the secret control room, and they start fucking around. Dave immediately finds an incriminating disc by hitting, like, a random key of words. We find out later that it's a dead president using the electrical system to haunt the machines.
Oh, yeah. So he definitely did not put in the right code.
Yeah, because they're like, how the fuck did he guess the right code? And then they showed it, and they're like, he didn't guess the right code. That's just a bunch of random numbers.
Yeah.
And then another point of the game's like, oh, yeah, and the electrical system's haunted. Ooh.
Who said that?
Me.
Oh.
And then Zach Bagan's like, you wanted us? You got us.
Shh. Did you hear something? Shut up.
Shut up. Aaron, go in by yourself. Anywho, so they find the control room. They see a dude sitting at the control room, and they push him, when the stepdaddy uncle and mad scientist originally shot everyone, their other friend and helper
the
assistant,
accomplice, the one, the brains of the operation that actually gets stuff done.
Like, exactly. He walks in, they accidentally knock him out, they weaken him at Bernie's, put him in a seat to make him look like he's alive, the hosers touch him, and he's like, oh my god, he's dead, you killed him, you're a murderer, I'm a witness, call the cops.
Yeah. He's always willing to turn on him, and I love it.
They're best brothers for life, but the moment any of the brothers do anything incriminating, it's like, you're a criminal. Yeah. I won't stand with you anymore.
And I'm telling on you.
Yeah. And then they don't know what's going on, and then they're like, you don't know how to use a computer. Oh, wait, this is later.
You don't know how to use your brain.
they were like, get over, man. I'm a genius. I can know how to use a computer. And then they fucking start fucking with the organ. And then that's when they find out that they're all controlled.
Oh, they start controlling everyone.
And then they get shot. And then they wake up in the van. And then they're like, all right, go deliver this shit. And then they have to stop at home first. But don't worry, the mad science and Uncle Daddy have been following them, and they're watching this whole thing.
Because they cut the brakes, but they have about, 2 or 3 stops that they could,
yes.
2 or 3 stops, 2 or 3 uses of their brake before it's actually gone.
Because I think they cut specifically the brake fluid line.
Yeah. And so they're like, okay, why are they stopping? This is, I think maybe the second stop that they had, or first.
And then they try out the incriminating disc. And Rick Moranis is like, they're like, it's a square disc. And he's like, yeah, it's like an EP from some new British new wave band.
Yeah.
And then it's all static. He's like, yeah, it sounds like a British new wave band.
Yeah, he's like, beauty sound. I love it.
And then they go off to their final destination. Rick Moranis makes another meta joke. He's like, you notice whenever anybody's ever driving in a car, they don't really look at the road at all. And his brother...
In movies.
In the movie, and the brother takes his hands off the wheel.
He's like, oh, yeah, really? Oh, yeah. Did they do that? And then the guy was like, yeah, because they're being dragged by a trailer. And he's like, oh, yeah.
And then they get into a thing. They realize that the brakes don't work. And then they sail into the ocean.
But they're being chased by police officers because they've been running lights and stop signs and stuff.
Yep. And then
so
at
they have
some
an
point,
audience.
when they hit the hill, the older brother was like, "No point in stealing. Take off, man. Steer this car." Yeah, because he's just like, he just puts his hands up. He's like, "Well, we can't stop the car. No point in steering it either." And his brother's like, "Take off. Steer the car."
Yeah. And so they're like, is it a lake?
Lake, ocean, pond, body of water.
A big body of water there. The car's in there now, but the thing is, the Rosie guy, the hockey player,
was there for some reason.
Because when the uncle was telling them, "Oh, you're taking this to Pamela's birthday party," he heard, and he was like, "Oh, she's having a birthday party. I want to be there." So he brought flowers.
Cute. That's cute. I didn't know that. I was like, why the fuck is he there? Because he was just some generic ass shipyard.
He heard and he was like, "Wait, is there a party?" And the uncle was like, "Get out of here, get out of here." And then he heard, and then I guess he was following them too because he had flowers, and so he jumped in there. I don't know. Did he even know Pamela was in? I don't think he knew Pamela was in there, but he jumped in the water to try to save them, and then he found Pamela, and he brought her, like, he helped her out of the...
Pamela came out of the water, and then he was like, "Pamela," and then... No, you're right.
No.
He just knew.
He just knew. He jumped in there, though. She got out of the... What is it called? What was she in?
A keg.
She was in the keg, but she was out of it, but she was kind of... She didn't have enough air. And he, like, blew his air into her mouth and pushed her up. Yeah. And so she got to the surface.
Basically, this dude who has met this woman for, like, a day and a half was willing to die for her. And essentially, she thought he did die for her. Yeah. And so, fellas, what's your excuse?
I don't want that. I've been getting that energy lately. I don't like it.
I will kill for you.
I was like, I met you 2 minutes ago.
Like, sir, this is a Wendy's, and I really need my Baconator.
Yeah, I was really rolling the dice on whether you were cute or not. I don't want you to die for me. But yeah, so that happens, and then the business guy the old man that is with her, he was in a keg too. He gets to the surface as well, I guess.
No, it falls out before he goes into the water.
Oh yeah, that keg falls out.
That should have killed him.
That should have killed him.
It fell out and like bounced a bunch, and I was like, that is a dead fucking dude right there.
And he's a thick man. I mean, maybe that was enough cushion because there wasn't enough room for him in the keg to be bouncing around. You know what I mean? He was kind of stuck. I'm thinking physics. Okay. Pure physics here. Physics. If she's tiny, if she's in there, she's gonna be banging around and hitting her head. Yeah. That man was cushioned.
Well, look, maybe it warranted that she was actually 30.
Yeah, maybe it did. But anyway, so she's saved, and then I guess it's been 10 minutes, and the police officers are looking in the water. They're like, no one lasts that long. So they send in a search team to find the bodies. Yeah, find the van.
And they're all there.
They get down there, and it's literally Rosie, the two brothers, and they're getting air from old beer bottles, it looks like.
I don't think it's old beer.
Because why is they're not drinking it because they're getting air.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it is old because I didn't really understand that, but I also feel like this is just something that is just supposed to be like.
Yeah, because they get all the air from it, and then it just sticks to the roof because gravity. Yeah. and then the divers.
Buoyancy, I think, is specifically the word because they're underwater.
Wait, what?
Buoyancy.
Yeah, sure. And then and then
now we don't care about science anymore.
No, I just want to sound smart. Anyway,
this guy was too fat. I mean, I'm talking physics.
I mean, really physics. If you think about the body.
And then when I'm like, it wasn't gravity. I think it's buoyancy. You're like, well, I don't give a shit about science anymore.
Yeah, no. Anyways, hey, Jake. Anyway, and so then the divers come in and they knock on the window like, "What's up?" And he looks at them like annoyed, and he rolls down his window and he shows them his license.
Yeah, he shows them a license.
Like he's getting pulled over.
Yeah. So they save the brothers, but they assume the brothers have kidnapped them. So they go to trial, and they're too busy giggling to each other. That causes a nosebleed. A monster nosebleed that
the older brother.
The older brother gets a monster nosebleed that requires like
a whole toilet paper roll at first.
I would say like yeah, an entire toilet paper roll, and then like basically the size of a platter amount of tissue held into his face.
And then for some reason
all their squabbling made people just assume that they were insane, and they were like,
Well, because that's what they're Oh my God, we missed like a big part.
Go ahead. What did we miss?
We missed a lot.
What do you mean we missed? They get committed.
Oh my God, we missed so much.
What did they do?
So they get booked for this crime. Yeah, tell him, Jake. Tell him. Okay. His breath stinks. Anyway, they get booked for. Don't look at me like that. They look. Oh my God. Okay, they get booked for the crime.
Yep.
And then they're in jail, and they convince all the men in jail that they're like these
some hardened criminals.
Criminals, which is funny. And then right when their lawyer, they're like, "We're never getting out of here." And then they're like, "You got bailed out." And then they run out.
They fucking run, and they're all chasing them.
Yeah, it was just funny. But then their lawyer, what I was saying was like, once they go to the actual court, their lawyer literally beats the ass of every single, what is it called? The press.
Yeah,
all the press. He does karate on them, even a woman. And so he's like, and they said Chuck Norris for defense, huh?
Yeah. And then another thing you're right is that we show Step Uncle Daddy and Mad Scientist and associate Brain Power Man editing clips together of them walking around in the hosers' gears
to make it look like them for court.
Yeah, and then their whole defense is that they're insane, and everyone agrees that they're insane, so they get committed.
Yeah, because that's what they were trying to do at first, and then the judge was like, "No, that doesn't make sense." And then after all of the nosebleed and stuff, they literally put bullets in his nose.
Oh yeah,
which made no sense.
And it shot.
And he was like, boop, 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 boop. He's like, "Don't make me laugh. Don't make me laugh." It was like, it's literally me when I go out with Katie, and it's like, "I'm gonna pee. Shut up. I'm gonna pee." Like literally the same thing. But that made no sense. But so they were found mentally incompetent, and he's like, "I can't decide anything until they are competent for court."
So you are okay with the whole idea that they're using old beer bottles to get oxygen, but shooting off bullets in your nose, that's the line?
I didn't say I was okay with the beer bottles. I was just trying to reason with it. But putting a bullet in your nose, that's not going to stop anything. Well, how is that going to stop the blood?
I mean, it did, so.
I mean, you're not wrong. I'm not going to argue with that.
I mean, have you ever put a bullet up your nose when you have a nosebleed?
Okay, first of all, I don't think I've ever touched a bullet in my life.
What a prude. Everyone's touched a bullet in the South. I don't think I have either.
Yeah, I'm not from the South, so.
You got an area code in the South. You're essentially Southern now.
I got a what?
Area code?
Oh. You said you got to marry a bro in the South. I was like, huh?
So now they've been committed.
Oh, this is my favorite part.
They're in the room.
A padded room.
In a padded room.
And they start steamrolling each other.
Yeah, he was like, "Get off of me, or I'm gonna steamroll." I was like, "Take off!" No, you're not.
And then they start and then this is the moment I realized they are literally just two of me interacting. If I had another one of me, I think I would be them. I was like, "Wow, yeah, that would be me." I literally just started steamrolling myself.
Yeah. Don't take that out of context.
What does that mean?
I don't know, but I'm sure there is.
Oh no, I can't keep up with this world.
Should we look up on Urban Dictionary what a steamroll is?
Yeah, look it up right now. Jake, you know I love you, but Jesus Christ, brush your tooth. Yeah, well, you're telling me.
Oh no, I guess it's just a weapon used for crushing/killing people.
My body. My body's a steamroller.
What is a steamroller slang? A person who forces other people to agree with him and prevents any opposition.
I know some of those.
I know some of those words.
Yeah.
So they're in
Pam is in the psych ward as well. Because after the incident, she stopped talking.
Because I think she realized that they were trying to kill her.
Yeah, so she just was watching TV and just didn't say anything. They just make up
a bunch of bullshit about how she doesn't want to talk.
Yeah, so and then Rosie's in the psych ward as well too, but I think he's just there for medical treatment, currently. Because
Step Uncle Daddy is trying to kill Rosie.
Yeah, and we didn't even make the connection. The evil mad scientist guy is like the head of the psych ward, or like the
You're right.
institution.
Yeah.
So he's able to pull all those strings. So all 4 of those people are in the psych ward right now.
Yep.
And then stepdad uncle is trying to kill Rosie and the hockey player, right?
But he's in the hospital specifically.
Yeah, and so right now he was trying, like in this moment in the movie, he's trying to kill the hockey player. But then the person that's in the room with the other person that's in the room with the hockey player starts like convulsing. And then a nurse comes in and then she's like, give him that. And then he literally gave him what he was going to kill Rosie with.
And then killed him.
And then he just walked away.
Yeah.
And so Rosie's alive. Other guy, alive. Not so lucky.
Now, for the record, when the nurse realized that this random dude just killed someone, she started screaming for security. She didn't be like, oh, whoopsies.
She's like, oh my fucking God. He fucking did.
And then they go to the parking lot, and I just like this moment. He's like, $6.50 for parking, which is fucking expensive for 1983. $6.50 for parking at a hospital? Yeah. That's like today prices.
Never been to a hospital that you need to pay for parking.
Most of them are kind of like that. Maybe not. It's just to stop people from like parking and using up a hospital parking lot. I don't know. Anyway.
Yeah. Anyways, yes.
So step uncle daddy throws all of his fake doctor shit. Said that's worth $6.50, and then drives off. And then the security guard sees someone else. We see Rosie is escaping. And then the security guard comes up. He's like, $6.50. And then Rosie picks him up. He says, all I got is 2 5s. I was like, oh my God, Rosie. Jesus Christ. Like, if I
what a man. Let me take my pants off. That's how you felt right then.
My pants were already off.
Oh, shit.
Because of that, not just like in the, never mind.
Add the 2. Okay.
I just thought that was a very funny line. Also, if I was a security guard and someone called, I only have 2 5s. Like, no, you don't. You have free parking.
Yeah.
For the rest of your life.
Get on out of here, buddy.
Yeah. And then we get, so now Rosie's out. We go back to the psych asylum.
And now we're with the 2 brothers and the evil sidekick that does most of the hard work, right? That guy is giving them a lie detector test, and this was one of my favorite parts.
Of course it was.
I didn't even...
Of course it was. I wrote it down as fart joke right near the end, and I didn't remember the context. And now I remembered the context.
I forgot that it was a fart joke. Really? I mean, yeah, it was, but I forgot my issue with fart jokes. Anyways, so they're doing the lie detector test, and he's saying something. He asks them a question, and they tell him the truth, but he doesn't believe them, so he's looking at it and he's like, is this broken?
Yeah.
And then the older brother farts, and he's like, oh my God. Like, what's the guy's name? The younger brother?
Rick Moranis?
Yeah, Rick is like, oh my God, you farted. He's like, no, I didn't, you hoser. And then he's like, look at the test. And the guy's like, he farted. And he's like, I don't need no test to tell me that.
Specifically what the lead up was is that they were asking him questions, the brains of the operation. It wasn't the mad scientist. It was
I meant the brains. Yeah.
They were like asking him questions and nothing
about
was happening
disc.
about the disc. And he's like, I don't know what disc you're talking about. And then they said, what, does this thing have no gas or anything? And then he rips one. Which is like a 1-2, like amazing jokes for Katie.
Yeah, it was amazing. And then he's like, I don't need no machine to tell me that. And he's like this in the air.
Yeah, he's waving his hand to get the scent away for all the audio listeners.
Yeah, it's so funny. And then somehow... And then they're in the electroshock room together. Yeah. He left him alone in there for some reason. And then they're shocking each other. They're like, hey, it's my turn. It's my turn. They're literally trying to kill each other. Yeah,
they're shocking. And then Rosie shows up. He's like, we got to skedaddle. We got to get Pam. And then Rick was like, okay, but like when we're done, we got to come back because it's my turn. Yeah. And
Rosie knocked out the brains of the operation so that they could leave.
Yep.
And so now they're just running around. They're trying to find Pam, and they found her. Yep. They save her. So now it's the 4 people together.
Yep, and now the power goes out. We cut to Step Uncle Daddy, mad scientist. Step Uncle Daddy's kind of like, hey, I think we maybe should just call it. And then the stepdad is the mad scientist grabs Step Uncle Daddy and starts to crush it and says, you will not. And he's like, okay. Did you ever watch Cory in the House?
Sometimes.
Do you remember the bully, the juicer?
Yes, I remember.
That's what reminded me of it.
That was from Cory in the House?
Yeah.
I thought that was from That's a Raven.
Maybe it was from That's a Raven, and then he came back in Cory in the House. But I remember him more from Cory in the House.
Okay.
Because he would, like If people don't remember, the juicer could juice anything. Like, he would get paper and, like, wring it, and water would be coming out of it.
Dang, he should be a rock climber.
Why?
The grip on that man. That's all I had to hear about. Grip strength. I'm so tired of it. Anyway, but also at the same time, that kind of, when he was smashing his head, it reminded me of this one time I accidentally got my head stuck in a window. Car window.
How did you get stuck accidentally?
Okay, let me set the scene.
Okay. How old?
12. Maybe.
Too old.
10, maybe.
Nope.
Maybe
we're at 12.
Maybe 2 years old. No, I don't know. I was young. Okay. I remember I was at my grandparents' house. My mom went inside so it was a dairy, whatever. So I'm just like, open air. Mm-hmm. But I'm in the car. My mom went into their house to talk to him. Usually she didn't go into the house. Usually we just had to find him on the dairy while he was working. So this was a little different. She went in there. I got bored. I stuck my head out the window and I was like, Mom. I was like, Jace, like, get me out of here. My head's out the window. I put my hand down and the window goes, I said, what? And so I panic and then I'm pressing the button to make it go down and I pressed it the wrong way. So then it's like, and I squished my head and I had to go, okay, really think about this. Which way is down?
So you didn't get stuck.
I got fucking stuck. That thing smashed my head, and I was stuck. If I didn't figure out which way was down, I could have killed myself.
Okay, you hoser.
It was a lot of pressure.
Yeah, I don't know.
Let's go try it outside right now. Let me show you what happens.
I don't know why I'm teasing you. I thought I got locked into my parents' car because I didn't get out with them in time, and then I heard it click, and I was like, oh no, I'm locked in. And then they like came and got me, and then that's when they taught me, hey, you can always get out of a locked car because it locks from the outside.
You are literally that one brain teaser joke. You're locked in a car with a rock. What do? Oh, break open the window. No, you open the door, you dumbass. Good thing you didn't have a rock.
What is the teaser again?
Oh, what do you do if you're locked inside a car with a rock?
Well, it says I'm locked in. Oh, fuck. I immediately lost it.
We would literally ask ourselves this in 4th grade, DJ. And he's giving me a hard time when I literally have my head stuck in a window. It's outside the window. I can't see the little thing. I have to figure out from memory which way is up and down and by feeling it.
Are you feeling it, Mr. Krabs?
Are you feeling it, Mr. Krabs?
I love it. You're like, well, you said it was locked. There was this, I was at break and Katie wasn't there, and I was talking to this woman about Barbie, and she said that she promised that she wouldn't spoil the movie. And my dumbass spoiled the whole movie for my wife. And she said, you're spoiling. I was like, no. She said that she wasn't going to spoil the movie. So nothing I'm saying is this. Wait a second. That's a lot of the movie. I've just realized I know. Such a gullible ass. You said locked. And I said, but you're locked. Oh, right.
Yeah, inside.
So now we're rapidly coming to the conclusion. Power goes out, inmates are escaped.
The power goes out, yes, in the brewery, and then the inmates escape because they're below the brewery, right?
Yes.
And then we're in the control room, and the bad guys are there.
And go ahead.
And they what?
Well, this is a crush scene, isn't it? We've talked about the head crushing.
Yeah, but you missed it. It was because the bad guys were being haunted by the dead brother. Because the dead brother starts playing the video of him dying, like, I know that you killed me, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And then there's like a bunch of stuff shoots around the room and blah, blah, blah. And then that's why the uncle's like, I don't want to do this anymore. And
right. Yep.
And then the evil guy crushes his head, like the juicer.
He doesn't. He threatens to.
I mean, he crushed him a little. I heard a little crack.
Oh, yeah.
That was like me in the window. That was what I'm talking about. I heard a little crack. I heard a little crunch.
Katie couldn't count right since that day.
I didn't what?
You couldn't count right since that day.
I'm literally an accountant.
Yeah, remember when we tried to count to 2? You're like, what comes after 1?
When was that?
Like yesterday.
Really? Do you want to do you want to retell the story?
No, this was Friday.
Do you want to retell the story about your baking pan?
Yeah, baking. I'm not a baker. You're an accountant that can't get past 1.
It had nothing to do with baking. It had everything to do with numbers.
I didn't say I was good at numbers.
Okay, well, I know what's after 1.
Which is
2.
you're like 3.
1.5.
1.1. I believe in the Dewey Decimal System.
Disgusting. Anyways, then it goes back to the 4 people, and now they have to separate, and they were roommates. Just kidding.
And this was a big moment because they've never been separate their whole lives. And older bro was like, "I'm so glad that we ditched them." Baby bro was like, "We've never been together."
Yeah. And then the evil mad scientist guy finds Pam and the younger brother
and traps them in a big old silo.
A little beer tank.
Yep.
Yeah, and then he turns on the beer. He's like, "You're gonna die." And then I thought it was funny because the brother was like, "Can I buy you a beer?"
yeah. So we'll just, instead of going back and forth, we'll just like go through each. So that's what. So small brother and Pam are stuck in this. Big bro and Rosie are rallying the inmates to go attack the step uncle daddy and the mad scientist. They successfully do it. Mad scientist is killed by the wall that he loved. We didn't talk about that, so I'm just going to cut that. Mad scientist is killed by Rosie. We would have to go back so far to talk about the wall.
What wall?
The wall that got, like, every time he's like, light it up, and then it shows all the little pings across the world.
Oh, it was just in his control room.
Yeah, it was just a wall that showed all the distributions of the beer, sorry. I think Rosie slams him into that wall, and then it electrocutes. Yeah, so the mad scientist killed by the wall he loves. Rosie and older bro get step uncle daddy arrested because the cops show up.
And then in the beer tank, I wanted to say this one line that he's like...
yeah, we'll go back. We're going to do the full... we're not going to skip over the beer tank scene. I'm just trying to get to that point.
Okay.
Which I think we're now at, so go ahead. Maybe if you didn't interrupt me, I would have gotten to that naturally.
You're talking about interrupting right now.
Yeah.
Literally every time I say something,
literally. Go on, Linda.
You just interrupted me while I was talking about you interrupting me.
That's called,
That's called being an asshole!
No, it's
anyway! My brother used to say drowning in beer was like heaven. No, he's not here, and I got 2 suckers. This ain't heaven. This sucks. That's what I wanted to say. Anyways, keep talking.
And then another line that I like is that they're both standing. It's about, like, chest high now beer. And she's like, did it suddenly get really warm in here? And he's like, I didn't notice anything different. He peed in it.
Yeah.
He peed in it.
He was like, I didn't notice anything.
And then he proceeded to drink all the beer.
In one way and back in another.
All right, beer bros. But yeah, so that's how the small guy saves Pam. He drinks all the beer, and he's like now just this like
big balloon.
Big one giant balloon. And then the ghost dad shows up in the hologram, tells Pam in the business thing, "Hey, you need to go to Oktoberfest. This is where we need to go." This is the reference earlier when I don't know how Katie didn't pick up that it was a ghost dad, because the movie basically said in bright neon lights, the ghost dad has been helping the whole time.
No, I knew it was him.
Oh.
But I didn't make the connection that he was electrical because he got electrocuted.
Oh, okay. That makes more sense. I was like, how did you not get to the dad?
I knew it was the dad.
Oh, okay. That makes more sense.
I've watched this movie 100 times, but the electric thing didn't click.
So then the ghost dad tries to blow up the asylum for some reason, and then Rick Moranis pees all over it, and then he's small again.
He's putting out a fire.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's putting out the fire with his pee. Yeah.
Nice effects, eh?
So then they're like, all right, fuck, we got like 10 minutes left in this movie, and we still have to like... The beer has been distributed. We have to go stop the beer.
But how are we going to do it?
How are we, Katie?
Oh, I didn't do anything.
I
wasn't there.
Okay. How would you?
I wouldn't.
You're like, I just let the world go.
Dude, it's literally a small group of people drinking the beer.
No, it's all of Germany because it's Oktoberfest.
Literally was the tiniest tent I've ever seen in my life for people.
I did wonder. I was like, what is this like the next step, because there really isn't that many people.
Yeah.
So their solution is to go home, dress their dog up like a skunk, give it directions, and then the dog proceeds to fly all the way to Oktoberfest and scares away all the people because they think it's a skunk.
They said, skunk! And they ran away, and the dog was like, who? Where?
Yeah.
Like, literally, what?
Where?
Oh, where?
And then the dog gets to eat its German sausage, and they save the day, and that's it. That's essentially the movie.
That's the movie. And then they take all the beer home. He's like, well, what happens when you drink the beer? Oh, you just, like, for a little bit, you get mind control, whatever, like,
and they're
it's
like,
drugs.
don't you think as good employees we should get rid of it? And they're like, you've driven it? It's like, man, that's like a 10-speed. Yeah, we've driven those before.
Yeah, and then I like the line, he's like, it's a 10-speed. And well, because he's like, you don't know how to drive a 10-speed, only 5-speed. He's like, it's a 10-speed. It's a 5 times 2. Like,
and then, like, he was like, come here. No, you're going to trick me. No,
Yeah, no.
you're going to trick me.
And
And
then
he was like,
he's
I knew it.
yeah.
Yeah, so truly shout out to Rick Moranis and the other dude who I don't know the name of.
Which is sad. I feel bad we don't know his name.
Is,
Pull it up.
I think his name is Dave.
Dave. What a guy.
Yeah, Dave. Oh, no, his legal name is Dave. It is Bob and Doug.
Bob and Doug. Oh, that's great.
Yeah. So that was Strange Brew. Katie recommended this to me, and I actually watched it. We were doing the podcast at the time, but she just told me to watch it, so I watched it. I thought it would be a good, fall-esque movie because it's about October. So, kind of like what I said at the beginning of the movie, it's like Dave and Rick Moranis really, assuming that they're married, they obviously really care about movies, so they made a lot of meta jokes about the movie making process. Like, very funny to start with, like, poking the MGM lion, which is, like, my favorite way. It's funny that they kind of made fun of, like, how stereotypical it was that they were going to take their SNL bit and try to make it a full-length movie. I like that they decided to go from the angle that they were kind of side characters in their own movie. It made coming back to them a lot more enjoyable instead of it always being about them and you getting tired of them. Like, they would be like, all right, we're going to, like, really focus on this super elaborate plot. All right, now that we've, like, overstimulated you with all this exposition, let's go back to the brothers giggling and drinking on the job because that's what you came here for. Okay, let's get back to this so we can progress the story. Okay, let's have fun again. I really dig that back and forth that the movie did.
Yeah, I liked how it was mostly like them stumbling upon this issue instead of it's like their issue or like they created the issue or something like that.
Yeah, and they're just two brothers that want to be drunk.
Yeah, literally, they just want beer and
like,
donuts.
When they get all the beer, they're like, "We made Dad so proud. We have to be up early." He's like, "Oh, I know what we got to do. We'll just stay up all night."
Yeah, that'll work.
Yeah. He's like, that way we won't wake up late. We just won't go to sleep. Have you ever done an all-nighter before?
Oh yes, I have a vivid memory of an all-nighter. I almost fell asleep at a carnival because of my all-nighter.
How long have you ever been awake without without sleeping?
I have no idea, but the thing was, I slept over at my friend's house and we stayed up all night. We watched The Notebook. I don't know why. I was in 7th grade.
Did you cry?
No,
Oh.
I don't know. I don't think so. I usually don't cry in movies. But I
Google
also
made you cry.
What?
Nothing.
Dougal?
Yeah.
No comment.
Well, this would be mainly because of your bangs at the time. Boom, roasted.
Yeah. Oh my god, I look like Dougal. That was me. But
Sorry.
And then I stayed up that whole next day, and then we had a carnival to host at my school that night, and I literally was at like a booth almost falling asleep because I was hitting almost maybe like it was past 24 hours.
Yeah.
And my mom was like, "What's wrong with you?" I was like, "Nothing. I'm good." I was in 7th grade.
I'm fucking vibing, Mom. Pass the blunt. Pass the rotation. And she's like, "What are you talking about?" Like, I heard it in a movie.
Yeah, I swear.
It's about
I was in
dementia
7th grade.
patients.
Oh my god. Anyways, yeah. So I don't really do all night. I mean, I did maybe 2 or 3 in college. I never really did all nighters.
I don't think I've ever done an all-nighter.
Ever?
No. I never understood the point of wanting to be asleep at 3 or awake at 3 a.m.
Okay, well, I feel like an all-nighter isn't by choice sometimes.
Yeah, the way my friends talked about it, it did seem like a choice.
It seemed like a choice?
Yeah, well, it's just like, why do you go to bed at 9? I was like, why are you up at 2? What's going on in the world at 2 a.m.? They're like, Nothing. I was like, exactly. So why the fuck would you not be asleep?
Well, did they do it for school purposes or just
They were just up.
Okay, yeah, that makes no sense. The only time the one time in 7th grade, it was because I was hanging out with my friends and we were like, oh, we're going to pull an all-nighter because we were like, we'd never done that before.
Yeah.
But
do you remember
then
that Zoe 101 episode about Dustin? Oh.
I didn't really watch Zoe 101.
Oh.
Anyways, the only time I pull all-nighters in college is because I had to.
Yeah.
So I never really have done it for fun. That's not fun.
Okay, do you think I ever did anything that needed to be turned in last minute?
Hey, I don't know.
You know me as a person.
I have anxiety too, but that makes me procrastinate.
Oh no, my anxiety is if you gave me a paper that's due in a month, I'll write it that night.
Yeah, no, my anxiety is I don't know how the fuck I'm going to write this paper, so I'm going to push it off until it's like, oh, fuck, I have to write this paper.
Yeah, no, I do the inverse. It's like when my brainstorming, I will write like 6-page papers and then trash them. And that's how I write.
Oh.
So I can sit down and write like a 6-page paper in a sitting in like an hour with like full references and everything.
You can write a 6-page paper in an hour.
100%.
Okay, yeah, but what kind of paper is this?
I don't know, like just a general English essay.
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
All right.
If I didn't, like, obviously I had done the research, so I didn't need to look up anything. Is that not like a fair, like, critique?
An hour is so but I was a sociology major, and so like
I was a film major. We didn't have to write papers.
Yeah, I was about to say our papers, like, it doesn't take a day or an hour.
It's really easy for me to write a paper about film because I get really passionate about film.
I didn't have to take biology, so I'm happy.
Really? What sociology is the other thing?
What are you talking about?
Is there not like an intro to sociology?
There is.
Oh.
No. At my school, like, biology was like the hardest class.
Oh. I took 2 biologies.
Oh, yeah.
With the same instructor. He was a cool dude.
Yeah, no, biology sucked because you had the labs and everything. Yes. And, like, It was terrible. Some people... Oh, chem was terrible. But, like, some people would just change majors after their initial class because it was too much.
Yeah. So should we wrap this thing up?
Oh, yeah, sure.
So would you rate Strange Brew as a frick no or a frick yes?
Oh, frick yes, of course.
Of course.
I feel like anyone should watch it just for the dynamic that they have.
Yes, it is a very funny movie.
I just like their dynamic.
For sure, frick yes. Rick Moranis retired, or is retired at this point.
Yeah, I think
he came back from like a Mint Mobile ad.
Really?
Yeah.
I was about to say he's been retired for a long time.
He is, and then like Ryan Reynolds convinced him to do a Mint Mobile ad, and the whole joke was like Ryan's like, "You're back," and he's like, "Yeah, so what do you want me to do?" He's like, "I just wanted you."
I just watched a movie with Ryan Reynolds. What a guy.
Which movie?
I don't know, but it was with the Bateman guy.
Jason Bateman. Oh, the Change Up or whatever.
Yeah.
The Freaky Friday movie.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well.
Frick yes, watch the movie.
Yeah, it is a frick yes. Next week or next time we're gonna watch the Phoebe Cates and I don't know who the fuck her co-star is. Drop Dead Fred. That is our next movie. We'll be back in 2 weeks. We will keep up this cadence until we don't.
Yeah, until otherwise noted.
Like, follow, subscribe. You know the gist. We promise that we'll get better, or we'll promise that the movies. What is our fucking?
I don't know what we promise anymore. I make no promises.
Yeah, we might get better, but the movies for sure won't.
Yeah. What he said.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Goodbye.
Bye.